Do you know this guy? No? Makes sense. He had 2 lines, and then... Seriously? A mutant with one of the deadliest powers in the Marvel Universe, reduced to a gag in less than 5 minutes. And the worst part? He didn't even get to use his power properly. Why? Because the writers decided his only role in the story was to die in a stupid way. But when you take a closer look, you realize Zeitgeist could have been a killing machine. What if he had survived? The story could have been completely different. Think his power wasn't impressive? His acid melts everything. Metal, bone, flesh. Nothing stands a chance. In battle, it's an instant kill. If you fight him, one splash and you're a puddle. In the comics, he was a true leader. He wasn't just there for decoration. He was ruthless, ready to kill if necessary. He could have been a terrifying enemy or a devastating asset to the team. But in the movie, he lands in a wood chipper, a freaking wood chipper. And just before dying, he spits his acid on the only normal guy in the team. Well done, champ. But wait, because the more you think about it, the more this scene becomes ridiculous. Let's go over the facts. Deadpool decides to form an X-Force. Cool. A team of badass mutants for a high-risk mission. Except, no one knows how to skydive. Do they train? Do they make a strategy? Number, they just jump blindly. Result? Immediate carnage. Bedlam? Electrocuted by a bus. Shatterstar? Shredded by a helicopter. Vanisher? Fried by power lines. Zeitgeist? You know what happens next. The only survivor is Domino because she's lucky.
Domino.
What's your shtick?
I'm lucky.
Why this was a massive waste. Let's be honest, Deadpool 2 is a comedy. But even with that in mind, this death was stupid. His power was never used properly. Imagine a scene where he corrodes an enemy's armor, melts a weapon, or disfigures a villain. That would have been way more memorable. The script sacrificed him for nothing. He doesn't even die in a real fight. No tension, no stakes, just a poorly planned landing and wood chipper. Huge potential wasted. He could have survived, sought revenge, or become a cult character. But nope. Next. And it gets worse. The worst part? Zeitgeist wasn't even supposed to be a joke character. In the comics, he's the leader of X-Force, not just a disposable recruit. He's smart, strategic, and extremely dangerous. Imagine if he had taken Cable's role in the movie. He arrives from the future. He has a plan to stop a catastrophic event. He uses his acid to take down enemies with precision. That would have made him a way more original and terrifying villain. But instead, they turned him into a throwaway punchline. What if Zeitgeist had survived? Imagine for a second that he didn't die. Instead of the ridiculous accident, he lands properly, uses his acid, and becomes a real threat. We could have had a scene where he destroys enemy defenses, melts weapons, and throws everyone into total panic. He could have been an ally, or worse, turned against the team and become an unpredictable villain. And the most frustrating part, Deadpool 2 itself proves how dumb this death was. At the end of the movie, Deadpool uses Cable's time machine to save Peter. Why didn't he save the rest of the team? Oh yeah, because the writers had no intention of keeping them alive. I get that Deadpool 2 is all about comedy, but this was just a waste. This mutant could have made a huge impact, but instead, he became a forgettable joke. What do you think? Should Zeitgeist have survived? Quicksilver? Quicksilver is supposed to be one of the fastest characters in the Marvel Universe. His speed should make him nearly untouchable, allowing him to dodge bullets, defeat enemies before they even react, and basically be an unstoppable force. But in the MCU, his powers are all over the place, and his death is one of the most frustrating moments in the franchise. Let's start with Avengers: Age of Ultron. In this movie, Quicksilver is introduced as an enhanced human, given his speed powers by Hydra's experiments with the Mind Stone. From the start, he's shown to be incredibly fast, dodging attacks, outrunning explosions, and even taking down enemies before they can react. One of the best scenes that shows his speed is when he easily disarms Hawkeye and takes his bow. Clearly, he's no ordinary human. But here's where the problems start. If he's so fast, why does he struggle in basic fights? In the battle at the Avengers Tower, he gets knocked down by Hawkeye, a regular human. Sure, it's played as a joke, but come on. A guy who moves faster than sound gets taken out by a well-timed door opening. And then there's the biggest issue: his death. During the final battle in Sokovia, Quicksilver dies because he gets shot while trying to save Hawkeye and a child. Yes, you read that right. The fastest man in the MCU gets killed by bullets. This makes absolutely no sense. We literally see Quicksilver moving so fast that time slows down for everyone else. In one scene, he outruns gunfire, dodging bullets with ease. So how does he suddenly get hit by bullets from basic Ultron drones? He had plenty of time to move Hawkeye and the kid out of the way. Instead, he just stands there and takes the shots. And let's compare this to X-Men, Days of Future Past. The Quicksilver in that movie moves so fast that he can casually rearrange bullets midair while listening to music. He can literally take his time dodging attacks. That's how fast he is. Meanwhile, the MCU version gets taken out by basic gunfire. The difference is ridiculous. And let's not forget, MCU Quicksilver never comes back. We're talking about a universe where people return from the dead all the time. Vision, brought back. Loki, faked his death multiple times. Gamora, alternate version brought in. Even half the universe was snapped out of existence and returned. But Quicksilver, gone forever. Not even a mention in WandaVision, where his sister literally warps reality. Instead, Marvel teases fans with the fake Quicksilver played by Evan Peters, only to turn it into a bad joke. So what was the point of introducing Quicksilver in the MCU? He barely gets any character development. He's weaker than he should be, and he gets one of the worst deaths in the franchise. His powers are inconsistent, and he never gets a chance to truly shine. But what do you think? Was Quicksilver wasted in the MCU, or did his story make sense? Hulk. Hulk is supposed to be one of the most powerful characters in the MCU. His power, the angrier he gets, the stronger he becomes. In theory, that means he has no limits. Yet, if we look at his appearances in the movies, his power is completely inconsistent. Sometimes he's an unstoppable monster. Other times, he gets wrecked in seconds for no reason. Let's start with Avengers: Infinity War. Right at the beginning of the movie, Hulk fights Thanos one-on-one. You'd think that Hulk, who has already smashed through Chitauri forces and dominated Thor in Avengers 2012, would at least put up a decent fight. But no, Hulk gets taken down in seconds. And the worst part? Thanos doesn't even seem to be trying. And here's the key detail. Thanos isn't even using the Power Stone, yet Hulk collapses like a rookie. The most ridiculous part is that after this loss, Hulk refuses to show up for the rest of the movie. Banner tries to bring him out multiple times, but Hulk literally says no. Since when is Hulk afraid? Hulk doesn't think, he just smashes everything in his path. And more importantly, in Thor: Ragnarok, he managed to stay in Hulk form for 2 years without ever reverting back to Bruce Banner. That proves he has full control over his transformation. So why, all of a sudden, would he be too scared to fight after a single defeat? Now, let's talk about Endgame. When we see Hulk again, he has merged with Banner to become Professor Hulk. He now has Bruce's intelligence and Hulk's strength. Well, in theory, because in reality, Hulk becomes completely useless. He spends most of the movie taking selfies with fans and explaining quantum physics. But the moment there's a real fight, he's nowhere to be seen. In the final battle against Thanos, he does absolutely nothing. Yet, in the first Avengers, Hulk could take down a Leviathan with a single punch. Here, he struggles to lift some rubble. And then, there's the snap. Hulk is the one who brings everyone back using the Infinity Gauntlet. Okay, that's an important moment. But he's supposed to have unlimited healing abilities. Yet, after snapping his fingers, his arm is severely damaged and never heals. Why? We've already seen Hulk survive a nuclear explosion in The Incredible Hulk. Now, a simple arm injury and he's out of commission? And let's not forget Thor: Ragnarok. In this movie, Hulk is introduced as the ultimate champion of Sakaar. He fights Thor in an arena, and Thor holds his own without much trouble. But in the first Avengers, Hulk completely dominated Thor, even with Mjolnir. Here, Thor manages to knock him out with a single electrified punch. How does that make sense? Hulk is supposed to get stronger the longer he fights, so there's no reason for him to lose to Thor. But the biggest issue with Hulk is She-Hulk. In the series, we're told that Bruce spent years mastering his transformation, learning to control his rage, and managing his strength. But Endgame showed the exact opposite. Hulk merged with Banner off-screen without any explanation. And we're just told, oh, I found a way to fuse my two personalities. Okay, but how? In short, Hulk's power in the MCU is all over the place. Sometimes he's an indestructible monster capable of smashing a Leviathan. Other times, he gets destroyed in seconds by Thanos, without even fighting back. Sometimes he's scared. Sometimes he disappears from the plot entirely. Marvel clearly doesn't know what to do with Hulk, and it shows. But what do you think? Is Hulk consistent in the MCU? Or is he just a character sacrificed to make others look stronger? Let me know in the comments. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe. See you soon for another debate.